Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Thursday, March 7th. Ended up getting north to Watertown and got my taxes done. Got that steer hung up yesterday morning. It was a good day. Kind of rained most of the day, but the temperature started dropping. So I thought today we'd kind of go a different route of if you want anything out of life, you have to have some form of input on your side, right? Alright, stay tuned and we'll get into this. Alright, welcome to the channel, welcome back. My name is Eric. This is what is deemed the weekday show, Monday through Friday. And today we're going to talk about how to get what you want out of life, how to get what you want from business, how to get what you want from somebody else. And that sometimes it takes a while. You know, every effort, I mean, it requires an effort on your end to get the ball rolling. And in its simplest form, you can look at a computer, all right? And a computer is just going to sit there until you give it something to do. You know, whether it be its simplest form of Alexa, that you say, Alexa, please play music, please do this, please do that. Whatever you have it trained to do, it will do in its simplest form. Alexa is not your buddy, is not a companion. It is simply a device that has been given an algorithm, and it's waiting for you to give it an input to calculate and to spit back out. That's kind of how life is. You know, it's kind of like you're sitting at your keyboard and you're not typing and you're not talking into your mic if you have, because I know a lot of you guys are using your mics now instead of your keyboard. I'm still old school. I like my keyboard. But you're giving the computer an input to solve something. You know, you're typing it. Like an example this morning, as I was saying, I bought that new parts washer, right? And I need to get a solvent for it. And I'm trying to figure out what's the best solvent to put in it at the best price. Well, I can't sit here if I don't have the sound set up to do it with a mic. If I don't punch in on the keyboard, first to wake it up, because mine goes to sleep after so many seconds. And the next is to type in, go to Amazon or go to Google, you know, use your mouse. But that's all inputs. And that's kind of the way life is you get what you give sometimes. Sometimes you don't get what you give. Sometimes you don't succeed the first time around. I'm horrified at the number of people nowadays, and I'm not singling you out, is that when asked, what did you do? Did you try anything to try to get that task completed? Well, yeah, I did this. Okay, so how'd that work out? It didn't work. Okay, so what was your next step? Well, there is no next step. It didn't work. So you give it one try and it didn't work out for you, so you just simply walked away? That's asinine. But for a lot of you, this mentality that if it doesn't come easy, then it wasn't meant to be. And that's totally the wrong idea, the wrong reasoning process. Anything worth having takes work, requires input, and it requires us to learn. If you've watched any of my self-help, I talk about how with time you get experience and you get wisdom, right? But if you only try it once, you get some experience, and if the only wisdom you walked away with was it doesn't work, then you need to find out why didn't it work. Can I tweak it? Can I do a little bit of a different approach? And I'll tell you, approach is everything nowadays. Things have changed a lot since I was back in my early years compared to what they are right now. When was the last time that you put forth an effort? If you're sitting there telling me that, it didn't work out, or I'm not getting anywhere, my life sucks, and to every one of those, my answer would be, so change it. Everybody's life sucks at times. Everybody has failings. And not everybody can come out and do it right the first time out, like a racehorse coming out of the gates. It takes practice, time. It takes looking at the experiences that you had during that time, your success and your failures, and then walking away with the wisdom of, I know this didn't work, but this almost worked, so where am I? You have to keep plugging ahead. If you just give up, that says a lot more about you than anything. Why are you so willing to give up on yourself that easily? Are you not worth it? Or is that you're going after not worth it? So, you take relationships with people. Now, I may have one relationship, one direction that I have with my daughter. And then I have a different relationship that between me and my son. And between me and Claude. You see where I'm going with this? Each one of them requires a different approach because they're different people. Not the same approach is going to work for everything out there. And you need to find what works best for the approach on what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with individuals, it may vary a lot. You have to find their likes, dislikes, listen, talk less, or sometimes just listen and say nothing. I have relationships like that. I don't even say anything. And they say, oh, I feel better now, and then off they go. Relationship with your spouse. Going to be totally different again, isn't it? Yes. Because each one of them have different needs, and each one of them fit into your relationship category differently, right? So let's step back to what I just said is maybe it's not as important to you as you think. Or maybe it's not even worth the effort. And that's why you're not giving an effort, is because it's not high on your list of what you want to get done. But now, if that is not very high on your list is getting a job and paying your bills, why isn't that important to you? Because to me, if I have bills, I have to find a way to get revenue to pay my bills. And for most of us, it requires getting a job. And it's not going to be landing that $120,000 a year job where you only work so many days a week and you get more time off than what you worked and you have a gym and no. It could be the fast-paced McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, Dairy Queen, Burger King, entry-level mom and pop diner. You have to start somewhere. We all did. We all didn't get our perfect job right out the gate. And I know some of you are dismayed that you went to college, you got your 4-year degree, or you got your master's, and you haven't found or you haven't landed that perfect job, and everything else is beneath you. I got news for you. It's not beneath you. It's you placed it as not important. But my question to you is, who's paying your bills? Because I guarantee you, if you don't have a job, whoever's paying your bills does have a job, whether it be your parents, your partner, or it could be the federal government, for all I know. I don't know. But somebody is making it not as important because they're covering you from being homeless, if that makes any sense. So a lot of times it's how important it is on your list. If you say, well, Eric, it's not that important. Okay. Why isn't it that important? Well, I don't care about that person anyways. Well, why do you even have a relationship with that person? Well, because I have to. They're family. You gotta be careful about how you look at things in life and how you value things. I know, folks, some of you are Amos, I know what you're going to tell me, but money is not everything. I can tell you that at the age of 61 going on 62, the most valuable assets that I have are the friendships that I have. And the friendships that I had with people that are no longer here that made me who I am. They made me a rounded individual because of my interaction with them. They made me better, a better person. So if you tell me that how much money you make is the most important thing in your life, to me, that's a dimsel life. To other people, maybe they say, I agree. But I'm a firm believer, if I had a choice of, at the end of my life, of having a lot of money or a lot of relationships, friends and family, I'd take the friends and family. Every frickin' time. Because money comes and goes. And some of the things that come with money is you start second guessing who your friends are. And I'll tell you, friends and family come out of the woodwork if they know you have money. Yes, they do. So now you're second guessing who is actually your friend. And are they your foe dressed the wolf in sheepskin? And you spend most of your time trying to protect it versus enjoying life. I hope for some of you, you learn that lesson early. Some of you aren't going to learn that lesson at all. And that's okay. It's whatever works best for you. But when you tell me about relationships not that important, I'm just kind of like, why? Why have you deemed it not that important? And only you can answer that. But it goes back to anything in life that you do want is going to require an effort. And you're not going to succeed the first time out, maybe the second or third or fourth time. But hopefully you've tried it a little bit different each time. And you're looking at the experiences that you're getting each time to give you more wisdom on how better to accomplish it. If your tendencies are to give up on the first time out, then we need to retrain your brain and say almost nothing works the first time out. At least it hasn't in my life. Whenever anything that was important to me, I failed miserably in the beginning. Even in business. I know you guys are probably saying, oh no, not you. Yes, me. I was a total F-up. And it took me a while to figure it out, how to put pieces together like the jigsaw puzzle. And I probably was considered a slow learner. But with the combined experience, the time that I had invested gave me better wisdom of how to approach things. Especially in business. Especially when it comes to landing that job you want, starting that business that you've always wanted to do, that you keep putting off. What I would suggest to you today is to take a sheet of paper and just draw a line right down through the center of it, okay? On one side, put the things that are important in life. To-do list. On the left, put the things that you have already accomplished. And then compare it to your to-do list. Now, if you're successful at the job that you're doing at work, so let's say you're a chief financial officer and you're doing really well working for a company, and over here on your want side, your important side, you put starting my own business. Well, how hard a transition would it be to start part-time a certified public accountant business? Because most of the time they work the hardest during tax time, right? And you could hire somebody to do payroll and all that other stuff for different companies till you gradually made it a full-time slot, keeping your day job before transitioning over. See, a lot of times on your important list that you want to accomplish, you're already doing those certain tasks, those certain aspects of your life that you need to have to be successful in the important column. You just need to pull from those experiences. And the younger you are, the less experiences you're going to have. So that's okay, guys, gals. But as you get older, you have more to draw from experiences, hopefully. You tried more things, and you've been hopefully more successful at things than you have at being failures. But I can't stress it enough. For all the really wealthy people that succeeded in business, they failed a lot in the beginning. Very few of them had the first time out. If you ever watch, it's on the Learning Channel, men that built the country, whether it be fast foods or what have you. of how many chances, how many risks, how many failures they had before they finally got it. They got it right. How many? Umpteen times. So we need to train you to not stop after the first time. If you try it once and it doesn't work, look at it, try to break it down, pull from your past experiences of other stuff and say, what do I need to do different to accomplish that? And if that's a relationship with a person, sometimes just starting a conversation off by saying, hey, how you doing? And then zip it up. And they will give you all the information you need. And let me tell you something else about a good relationship, is that what that person tells you stays with you. And the only time I say otherwise is if they're a threat to themselves or others. Other than that, if they wanted your sister-in-law to know their business, let them tell your sister-in-law, not you. Friends don't do that. Acquaintances run their mouth. Friends don't. And that's the way I've always been. If someone confides in me, that's where it stays. If they want somebody else to know that business, then they need to go tell that person. Other than that, I don't know anything. So on that note, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. If you're trying to succeed at something, put a little bit more input, but in the right direction, like a computer. You know, you can do it on a computer too. You know, on one side a Word document, the other side by hitting tab. Important, accomplished, you know. And good chances are, if you've been on this earth for a couple of years, you have some experiences to draw from to help you accomplish what you want. But just know, very rarely does it happen the first, second, or third time out. It takes practice. It takes fine-tuning, trying to figure out the best approach. Alright, guys. You guys have a great Thursday, and we'll catch you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for watching.